So, when you were going through your most difficult phase of your life, when you had hit rock bottom, and there was so much that was going on in your life at that time, God was testing the hearts of the people around you to see how were they going to respond to you, react to you, how were they going to treat you when you were going through this difficult phase in your life. Were they going to treat you with empathy, compassion, love, grace, and care? Or were they going to be apathetic? Were they going to be judgmental? Were they going to gaslight you? Were they going to victim blame you and shame you? But these people, they did the latter. Okay, they were the ones that they did not give you empathy. They gave you apathy. They gaslit you. They victim blamed you. They shamed you. They basically kicked you while you were already down. It's like they reached out their hand to help you up and then didn't even, and was like, psych, didn't even help you. It's like they pretended that they were helping you when in actuality they were making things worse for you. You had this moment where I'm getting like within the past year or 2 years or so, you were going through a very difficult time where you hit rock bottom. Okay? And when you hit rock bottom, and you had to crawl your way out of those trenches, and God was right there with you, helping you get out. It's like by the time you had crawled out of those trenches and you had got from, just imagine, I'm getting this image of a cliff, okay? And it's like you were pushed down that cliff and you hit the ground and you hit your rock bottom. And you had to climb yourself up the mountain of that cliff to get back up on the platform, so you were no longer in that trench, in that ditch, or whatever is the abyss. Thank you. That's the thank you word, the abyss. Like you had to crawl yourself out of that abyss. And the whole time you were crawling yourself out of that abyss, everybody else that judged you, that shamed you, that victim blamed you, that gaslit you, that did not offer you any type of empathy and compassion, people that actually played a role in part of your suffering. It's as if some of these people even set you up to be hurt. Some of these people, encouraged you to do something bad. And when you end up doing it, traumatic things happen to you. Like you may have listened to someone encourage you to do something that you were maybe a little bit skeptical of, but this person was encouraging you to do it and you went along with it. And then you were left hurt and traumatized. And then some of you even came back to these people and was like, hey, you encouraged me to go do this, and look what the fuck just happened. Like, and this just happened to me, bro. You weren't blaming them, but you're saying like, hey, like, I know you had encouraged me to go out there and everything. I know you had encouraged me to do this, but it went awry. Like bad stuff happened. And then when you told them, they didn't keep the same energy. It's like they kind of gaslit you. And it's like, well, I didn't tell you to go do that, or, well, you shouldn't have did it anyway. Or they basically try to make it seem like it was your fault, and ignoring the fact that they actually did encourage you to go do something. That's like someone encouraging you to shoplift. And then when you get like, put this in your bag, you won't get caught. Put this, I got you. And then when you get caught and now you're in trouble, then they're looking at you like, well, I didn't tell you to, you're the one who put it in your bag. It's your fault. It's like they don't want to take their responsibility for the role that they played in your suffering. Yeah. And oh wow, these people, they were just off living their best life. Like things were just going relatively well for them. Like they were living their life, right? Things were going good. Things were going good in their friendships. Things were going good in their relationships. Things were going good within their families. Things were going well in their life. But there was a reason for that. Because God wanted to test their hearts to see, after you just did this person dirty and blessings are coming into your life, let's test your heart again. Are you going to allow your heart to be warmer? Are you going to allow your heart to change? Are you going to allow your heart to soften with all of this coming into your life? And because a lot of these people, they were ungrateful. They are expecting all of these things to happen. And even when they come, they are not expressing gratitude as if it could be taken away from them, or as if, some people, I don't want to say that, but they just feel so overly deserving of these special things that happen into their life, when they don't realize that they actually have a luxury. They actually have, certain privileges of why they have certain things in their lives. And they're not even realizing how good God was treating them, and how good things were for them. But still, their heart did not change. And a lot of these people, they just continued on living their life. And, God was also testing their hearts to see, like, now that they are being blessed, are you going to self-reflect on how you treated this other person? Because life is well for you right now, but life is difficult for this person. Are you going to be able to empathize? These people weren't. It said even in the moment of God, even in the hour of God blessing them, they still had this, thank you, Spirit, for that word. They still had this haughty attitude. Haughty, Haughty. Haughty, look that up. They had this haughty attitude with them, with all of these things that were still continuing to happen in their life. And, at the same time, whenever you would, once you crawled yourself out of those trenches, once you got yourself from the bottom of that cliff onto the platform, onto like the ground level, and you basically climbed out of that ditch, right? You got yourself out of rock bottom, and it took you, several months to climb out of there. And once you got back off on top of this cliff, it's like I'm having the image of the people that were around you that kind of pushed you in, or even if it wasn't them that pushed you in, watch someone else push you in there while they sat there and did nothing to help you. And basically like these people watched you fall down to rock bottom, and they just kind of looked at you and then just turned away. And I'm getting this image of like when you climbing your way out, and then you get back up on top, and all these people around having a good time, like they're laughing, they're laughing, smiling, and then they look over at you and they see you climb up, and they see that you stand there and you're still alive, and nothing, like, you're still alive. It's like they look over at you and their smile turns to a frown. Their smile dwindles, their smile goes away, because they're like, how did you get out of there? I thought you were going to stay down there in rock bottom. I thought you were going to be there forever. I thought that you weren't going to make it out of there. I didn't want you to make it out of there. So now it's like their smile has gone when I'm getting this image, okay? This is what my clairvoyance is showing me. But that's basically the energy that they were in. It's like when you were in rock bottom, they didn't give a damn about you. They didn't, reach down there to try to help you. They didn't like try to go seek help to try to help you get out of there. No, they didn't give a damn. And then they're laughing, living their best life, having a good time. And then they see you crawl out of there, and they see that you survived and you're alive. They were not happy about that. And then now, at this point, God is really testing their hearts to see, it's like they made it out of there, and you still have this animosity towards them. You still have this negative, thank you, Spirit, this hardened heart towards them. Okay, that shows where your heart is, because you couldn't have survived what they were just put through. You couldn't survive what they endured. And you have this nasty heart towards them when you have no idea what they deal with and battle with on a daily basis, and you shame them every single time that you get. After all these blessings that I have graced you with, all of that is going to be stripped away from you. Part two. So everything that they have will be stripped away from them. Oh, thank you, Spirit, because all of the blessings that they were given at that time, like when you were in rock bottom and life just, it's almost as if life kind of took a pause for you for a while. For several months, it's as if life was on pause for you because you had hit rock bottom, baby. And the only way that you can go is up. But when you hit rock bottom, you hit the low of the low. Like, you found out rock bottom had a basement. Like, you went boom, 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 and went like another like several feet under, and you like, just goddamn, what the hell just happened? Like, what the fuck was that? Like, yeah. You realized how difficult life can get. You realize how sick this world is. You learned the hard way, but all of that, like, what that did altered your brain chemistry. You have not been the same since all this has happened. But you are here today. You have survived. You have conquered. You have endured. And you have made it through. Because you have the strength of a warrior. Where energetically, during all of these spiritual attacks, they try to take the warrior out. And they do so much towards the warrior because you're the biggest one, you're the strongest one, and they think, if I could take one of the strongest out of this army, we could be able to win this war against this army. But no, you're a warrior, baby. You had your moment where warriors get wounded. Sometimes it's like they gotta use extra weapons, spiritual weapons, to try to hurt us, because they will form. Some of those weapons will hurt us, but they won't be able to prosper because those weapons were sent to annihilate us. But we survived. So that's what they shall not prosper. Yeah, it hurt. Gotta pull that sword out, but I'm still alive. I have my life. Because what they wanted was to come after your life. So when you were going through your situation, when you were in rock bottom and just everything was just, life just had got turned upside down, and these people that were around you that did not give a damn that you were in rock bottom, they were off living their life, not even giving a crap about you. What God saw within their heart is that God, one, saw their heart towards you, and God saw how their heart towards you is cold. And their heart towards you was getting harder at the time. Like, just, forgive me. Their heart towards you was hardening day by day. Like, each day, their heart was growing more harder towards you. It was growing more harsh towards you. It was growing more cold towards you. And that heart was staying very rigid. It wasn't bending. So when God was seeing their heart towards you, God's like, okay, a lot of what you have done to them and sabotaged them was intentional. It was personal. It was personal to them. Because if this was somebody else, you wouldn't have done what you have done. But because it's them, it led you to do what you did. It didn't stop you from doing what you did. And actually, it encouraged you to do what you did because it was them. Them meaning you. So they did this to you intentionally on purpose because of their heart towards you. And that is what was exposed to you. And these people or this person, this is someone that you trusted, someone that you love, someone that you care for, someone that you have confided in confidence, someone that you really, really trust. And they betrayed you. They broke your trust. They used your trust for them against you, and they took advantage of it. And they encouraged you to do something, and they sabotaged you and they aided a hand in causing destruction in your life. Because had they encouraged you to maybe go the opposite direction, you probably would have made a different choice. But you listened to them. And you took heed to what they said. And you did what they suggested. And by the time everything started to transpire in this situation that they encouraged you to go in went left and caused you trauma, it was too late. And by the time you realized you shouldn't even be here, it was too late. And what was exposed is that this person is not for you. For a lot of you, this is a family member. This could be a sibling. This could be a best friend of yours. This could be a cousin. This could be a roommate. This could be someone that you are very close to. This person is not for you. This person does not love you as much as you love them. This person does not like you. This person does not respect you. This person does not care about your well-being and your feelings and what you have endured. They do not care. In fact, they despise you so much that they like to see you suffer because it makes them feel better about the suffering that they have in their own life. This person is very sadistic. This person is narcissistic. And another thing that God tested their heart is God was going to test their heart to see how are you going to handle people when they have been through traumatic situations that you yourself have not been through. Can you still empathize with them even if you haven't been through it? But because they could not, because they shamed you and they gaslit you and they victim blamed you and basically made you feel worse than how you already were feeling, that was like a strike two. That was strike two. It's like strike one was you encouraging them, and then was the Judas that caused that downfall. Strike two was when that person finally came back and crawled out of the trenches, and that's how you do them. That's how you treat them. You give them no empathy, no grace, no compassion, and instead you make it seem like it was their fault. You make it seem like they caused this on their own doing, like they wanted this to happen to them. You're making it seem like this person was not taken advantage of by yourself and by others. You want to act like you didn't have a hand in this, and you want to act like their feelings are not valid. That's strike two, because you can't even empathize with this person. You're blaming them for something that was not their fault. And at the same time, you cannot even respect the person enough to give them human decency. That was strike two. That showed their heart, that they lack empathy, they lack compassion. Unless it happens to them, they don't give a damn about what happens to anybody else. And then three, when they got their blessings, they were one to turn their nose up and look down on others, you especially, that didn't have the same blessing that they got. Whatever this blessing was, it's very vague here. But when they got these new blessings, when they got new opportunities granted to them, they kind of turned their nose up at you and basically made it seem as if they were better than you. They were well off than you. They were doing so much better in life than you because look at what they have. But their attitude was not of gratitude, because one, they want to take the full credit for the blessings that they have in their lives when a lot of the stuff that they have was gifted, handed to them. And they want to act like they did this all on their own. But they don't even want to acknowledge the fact that God graced them with this. They don't want to acknowledge God. And then two, they also don't want to acknowledge the people that God orchestrated to help them to receive this. And they want to act like they did this all on their own. Yeah. So they have these blessings, but they cannot even give credit to where credit is due. And then they want to turn their nose up and act as if they are better off and they're better than others that don't have what they have when what they have was given to them, strike three. It will be stripped away from them and they will hit rock bottom to see exactly how it feels.